He didn't tell you that those amendments never passed. They're thrown up. And the Democrats always vote them down. They let some of their more targeted Democrats vote for some of those in order to look good. But then the budget comes with all $250 million of those pork items in it. And Mark voted for that budget with all of those items in it. Walberg, on the other side, not only supported amendments like that to cut the pork out, but then voted against the budgets when they were bloated with pork. And still was able to get projects that had been funded by our tax dollars for our district. That's the difference there. When you look at the issue of health care reform, Mark Schauer came back and held multiple town hall meetings that you all attended, I'm sure. You didn't? Well, then you were on the teletown hall hearings, and you got a chance to ask him your questions, right?
Yeah.
No. While I was holding 5 unscreened, unscripted town hall meetings all across this district, including here in Jackson, last August at the library, as well as numerous other places around this district. And people were coming and voicing their concerns, and at every meeting, on average, it was 80% at least opposed to the government takeover of health care, and 20% supporting it, or less. And those that were opposed said overwhelmingly, yes, we need reform, but not this reform, not a government takeover. That's what I heard throughout that process. Then, of course, we held some town hall meetings, 6 to be exact, after the vote. Some of you attended that, I believe, while Mark Schauer was holding town hall meetings, telling you why you should like the bill when it passed. I offered legislation when I was in Congress that the principles in that legislation became the framework for the Republican alternative that they brought to Barack Obama in the White House at the health care summit. That people like Dave Camp, our congressman from Midland, and Peter Roskin, congressman from Illinois, and Paul Ryan, the name that you're hearing more and more about, from Wisconsin, took to the president and said, here's our alternatives. Yes, we believe reform is needed, but these are the things that are needed. We need associated health plans so small businesses can join together in economy of scale, and then be able to purchase health care at reduced costs for their employees if they so determine that that's what they want to do. We don't allow that now. Expand the usability and the flexibility of health savings accounts. I bet a number of you have HSAs. That's your money before taxes to be used for medical purposes. Why not expand that and allow us to be more consumers as we purchase our health care? It's our money. Give us incentive to do that. That deals with frivolous lawsuits by putting a cap on non-economic damages and reduces the need for that cost that adds to all of our policies and all of our health care significant cost. Or why not allow us to purchase health care across state lines to expand the competitiveness so that the Blues and others in Michigan have to compete with companies that provide reduced cost and wider variety of health care coverage at other places in the nation. That was in my bill, and that was in the House Republican plan that they brought. To give the same tax incentive to individual citizens or households that purchase health care coverage as we give to businesses. Why not? Put an attaboy slap on the back to the individual who does the right thing, just like we do to businesses. So those were some of the things that were in my legislation that the Republicans offered, in contrast to Mark Schauer saying, you will buy the insurance we tell you are to buy. You will, as a business owner, either provide it for them or pay a penalty. You will follow our prescribed formularies or processes, and ultimately, you will pay the taxes that will fund this, and ultimately, you will be rationed in your health care, because that's how it happens all over the world. Now, they wouldn't say that. But those of us that read that bill, those of us that have common sense understand that if it didn't work in Canada, if it hasn't worked in Great Britain, hasn't worked in any of the socialized medicine system, why do we think it's going to work here when we're doing the same things without the same outcome?